Hello everyone, and welcome back to this Winners Round 1 matchup here between Tree of Arbor and Logan James. It's going to be a pretty interesting matchup here. I say that because there's hardly any cavalry on the field. We're looking right now at Tree of Arbor's setup, as he's the one who sent me this replay, though he's not the designated attacker. This is the map Caldera, and it was chosen by Logan over here in the blue. Now, he does have some cavalry off in the forest. I actually saw it because I started this replay, and then some people started messaging. I forgot to go offline, so I just restarted. The battle hadn't happened yet, though, so I have no idea what's going to happen. He has one Yari cavalry hidden off in the trees. Other than that, it's fairly standard Katana Corps and 6 Katana Samurai, a Katana Hero, 3 Yari Samurai, and 2 Bow Samurai. He also has a matchlock that comes out of the trees shortly as well. If we look over here at Arbor, he's sporting the red banner. Pretty interesting army. A lot of Yari Ashigaru. I'm not going to count them. There's something like 8 or something. Then 2 Naginata monks, 3 bow warrior monks, and 2 light cavalry. In fact, he's so light on cavalry over here. If we look at his general, he's dismounted. His general's not even on horses himself. So, a very interesting infantry battle that we're going to have on our hands here. Look at that range from the bow monks shooting over here at the Yari samurai. Gonna come so close. Those guys down there are pretty lucky, not gonna take any casualties from that. He's gonna be the first one to capture a building, Logan over here in the blue. Unfortunately for him, it looks like his opponent, Arbor, has gotten the better of the two in terms of buildings. He's gonna get both the sword dojo and the shrine, leaving Logan with just the what is that called? The production building, the workshop, that's what it's called, of course. And his light cavalry over here is running over to check out the woods, see if there's anything hidden. Very good idea to do, especially you look at a forest and don't see any cavalry. You gotta think there's some cavalry in hiding. It's pretty rare when you get somebody that actually doesn't bring any cavalry. So he's doing a little bit of checking over here with that scout. His other one is over there capturing the shrine, which it has finished capturing, so he should be mounting up shortly. And there we go, the cavalry has come out of hiding. 2 of them, in fact. There's a Yari. Oh, look at that! A Yari cavalry and 2 light cavalry, matchlock Ashigaru coming out of the woods over there. This was the point where I restarted the replay, so nothing had happened yet. Who knows? Taking the middle of the caldera here is going to be Tree of Arbor. Now, he is not the designated attacker, so it's going to be up to Logan James to come in and take this one. Just a little bit of maneuvering going on. Skirmishing with the bow samurai. Not in loose formation. I'm not sure if being in loose formation or as opposed to tight gives you any difference in kill rate. I know you won't lose as men as quickly if you're in loose formation. I don't know if it makes you kill better than if you're in tight formation or worse, but we'll see. I see a lot of people keeping their bows in tight formation during skirmishing fights, so maybe there's something to it. I'm not sure if there is personally, because I don't usually watch my skirmishing terribly closely, as I'm sure you know. Light cavalry's coming in to scare off these bow samurai. Actually, bow samurai do a very good job of skirmishing with bow warrior monks because of their higher armor. They can take those arrows pretty well. I've managed to rip apart bow warrior monk corps pretty easily with bow samurai before, so pretty good unit there to counteract it. And light cavalry is going to make it into his bow line. Excuse me, not sure what's up with that. Bow samurai taking some hits, down to 62 men there. Reacting with swords, normally not what you want to do, but against light cavalry, they'll work just fine. Matchlock's trying to reposition as well. And I'm not sure if that's a good idea to be throwing your cavalry away, because he's obviously not depending on his cavalry in this battle, using those light cavalry more as a distraction or a sacrifice. He's going to be depending on his infantry to win this one, maybe with some matchlock support too. And of course those Naginata monks are going to be pretty scary. Of course he does have bow warrior monks which have very good killing power, though they're all fresh, no veterans spent, which might be the way to go in this tournament. Maybe only spending a few veteran upgrades on some key units is something that you're going to want to do. There's no way I'm not online. That's what I thought. Didn't know if the group had anything to do with me being online, but apparently not. So let's see what we have here. Yari Ashigaru moving out across the shallow water. Katana Samurai are just getting hammered here by those bow monks. And here we go with a light cavalry charge on the side. Going to try and go into the Katana Samurai, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like he went into the Katana Samurai. Stopped that charge short. Very bad angle there to be charging from. That's going to get cleaned up by the Yari Samurai if they're going to get caught in a melee fight here from both sides. There's going to be wavering. Light cavalry have terrible morale. We can actually take a look. Actually, it's not that bad. 12? I thought it was much lower than that. They tend to rout very quickly, so not sure what's up with that number, maybe. And it's getting buffed, too. Oh, of course, he has the shrine. That's what that number is. I think, is there a cavalry morale retainer? Interesting skirmishing here with them skirmishing with matchlocks. Don't see that terribly often, but that's probably what these Yari Ashigaru were doing, is trying to take shots for the matchlocks. Let's take a look. Still in good shape, 113 and 111 for Arbor in red here's matchlocks. Looks like Logan's are just fine too. His are at 106, so no big deal there. Trying maybe to juke with arrows, it looks like. Using a fire attack too. Not sure if that's a good spot for a fire attack. Might want to save that for a little heavier unit. Sending it on one distraction, Yari Ashigaru, doesn't seem like the best use of bows here. Now, since we have a little bit of a lull in the action, we're talking about just skirmishing here. Let's think about the map a little bit. This map was chosen by Logan, who is in the blue up here. So we're wondering why he chose this map, Caldera. Now, in my last video, game 2 of the Indie Pride match, I talked about a map choice being either offensive or defensive, and it definitely seems to me that this map was a defensive choice for Logan. Thinking, what is his weakness here? Bows, maybe? These hills give bad firing angles. Cavalry, too. Cavalry's not very good on this map. Maybe that's why Arbor decided not to bring any, or at least not very much cavalry, depending more on his infantry to win this battle. And sitting in the water, too, which is also an interesting choice. Cavalry is very, very slow in the water, so probably why he's electing to camp out there, because Logan still has all of his cavalry. That was, if I remember right, 1 Yari cavalry and 2 light cavalry. Skirmishing is running its course here a little bit. His Katana Samurai are down about half. This one's at 56. This other one over here is at 45. So we should see an end to the skirmishing fairly soon. Both players being very careful, not wanting to run out too quickly and get engaged. So there's less danger of it, seeing as the cavalry has been pretty well cleared off the field, at least for one side. It looks to me like Logan has a pretty good chance to attack fairly soon. But he's going to have to get around that Yari wall. That Yari wall is going to be punishing, especially if he's attacking with Katana Samurai, which have that lower armor. Those Bow Warrior monks, if given enough time through a Yari Ashigaru wall, at least that would buy them, they could definitely do some damage. But he's running into the water with a Yari cavalry. Not sure I agree with that. They're going to be very slow in the water, just going to get chased off here by the matchlocks. I definitely think that that is why Arbor elected to move into the water here, is to keep that cavalry at bay, because Logan is the only one with cavalry left on the field. Ooh, and his matchlocks are going to be able to join the skirmishing as well. Looks like they're shooting into the Yari Ashigaru. Got a nice, open angle of fire here against, or across an open plain. I mean, no problem shooting into the matchlocks there. Cavalry is pulled back too behind his line, and plus he does have the workshop, which means his skirmishing will be a little more effective in that he will have a higher armor count than his enemy, especially with Bow Samurai. Looks like he got the whistling arrows put up against him, and one of the Bow Samurai is going to get routed. The other's still at half strength and in okay shape. Let's take a look at the bows on Arbor's side. His bow monks are totally fine at 73 there. Ooh, a bow hero, excuse me. That's not a bow warrior monk. That is a bow hero, excuse me, folks. Look at those stats. Reload skill of 80, accuracy of 80, range of 200. Excellent bow unit. Kind of interesting to choose a bow-centered army, sort of, on this map. I guess if I had to call it anything, I think I might call this one a ranged corps. The Naginata's monks do give a very nice rounding out of the infantry line, especially with the Warcry. But I might call this one a missile corps. I think he might be depending on the enemy running into that Yari spear wall and holding it, and thereby using the missile attacks to his full effect. And actually, if you look at his experience, I said he had a mostly fresh army. I guess I missed this giant Yari spear wall here of rank 7 experience. So he's definitely looking to grind the enemy down on the infantry line and have his bows just have a field day with the enemy infantry. It looks like these matchlocks can get cleaned up down to 52. This one here for Tree is at 92. And there it goes. Matchlocks are gone. But he's already moved into a sort of melee position. He's got his katanas running around, trying to flank here with the Yari Samurai. There's no cavalry for the Yari Samurai to be worried about. I would definitely have those Yari Samurai up in the front, ready to take the attrition that the Yari Ashigaru are going to give out. Have his Katana Samurai maybe try and flank, or maybe vice versa. Hit him straight up with the katanas and get these Yaris to flank. Cavalry is moving around too. We see him getting encircled sort of here in the pond in the middle. We'll see if that ends up working out for him. Morale's going down. That Yari Ashigaru won't stand long against 2 veteran katanas, and yeah, we already see wavering there. Oh, here we have Naginata monks. Actually a pretty good usage here of the Yari Samurai, holding down these Naginata monks, keeping them more away from the main battle line. But come to think of it, there really isn't a main battle line right now, because Logan's forces are kind of split up. He's got 3 katanas here in the middle, 2 over there, and 1 on this side. So not a dedicated all-out attack. he's going to be kind of buying his time, maybe trying to force Arbor into a premature sort of engagement, maybe get him to rush a little bit. Cavalry's taking this opportunity to run around the right, hit the bows. I think if he takes the bows out, that would be huge right now. Let's see what this is. A light cavalry. Naginata monks are going to be trying to intercept. We'll see if they can. Charge is definitely going to connect on these bow monks. Down 15 men in that charge. A second wave of light cavalry is coming. Also that Yari cavalry. And we have a full-fledged fight in our hands. Looks like Arbor's already popped his rally. And it's been up for quite a bit, though we do see wavering. Where's his general? Oh no. Logan's general is way back there on the hill. He needs to be up there with those katanas, get a rally up. He's got to have enough morale to grind down all these Yari Ashigaru. Let's take a look at the numbers. 27, 58. They're getting worn down pretty easily. Matchlocks are actually even moving up into the melee fight just to try and push with that extra numbers. That's going to be enough to rout those katana samurai. Who would have thought a Matchlock Ashigaru charge would have done it? But in the meantime, Arbor's general is in danger. 24 men. The Yari cavalry is fighting him, but in the water, not going to do a terribly good job. They're going to be wavering. They seem to have rallied temporarily. A big katana attack is coming from the rear now as well, along with the light cavalry. If you get some good pincer action, this could cause a chain rout. He's got them lined up horizontally. He's going to be able to send all of his troops perpendicular to his line, which is generally a good thing to do if you have inferior numbers. Yari Samurai is going to try and pincer. Neither side has victory ensured in this battle yet. It's still going to be close. Matchlocks need to get taken out there by the cavalry because he's shooting into the cavalry here. Also going to be hitting his bow warrior monks a little bit as well. There goes the light cavalry. Is that all? No, he has one cavalry left, Logan does. General's finally moved up. Don't know why he's keeping him so far back. Maybe he's afraid of the Matchlocks, but they're getting tied down. I think he needs to get over that fear and bring that general up into the melee attack quick. Workshop doing a good job there in keeping his men alive, but Katana Samurai routing all over the place. Looks like he only has 3 left on the field, and what is left is hurt. Ooh, that Matchlock shot is going to do... It's going to rout his own men there. Shattered on the Matchlock Ashigaru. Light Cavalry still fighting. There they go. They've routed. The Matchlocks have also reformed. They're back in the fight, too. We're just going to have a grind fest, which Katana Samurai are generally good at, but against all these numbers, will they be able to get through that many bodies? Who knows? Finally bringing the general up close to the melee line. Maybe needs some more shock troops. What else does he have? Just one bow samurai. I think he needs some more shock troops. Got to get your general into the fight. Because Arbor's is still alive. There he is. He lives. And as long as he lives, those Yari Ashigaru are going to have reason to stand and fight. I think he should definitely try and flank with his general. Try and get that general killed. If he does, those Yari Ashigaru won't stand long. Yari Samurai doing a decent job of staying in the battle too, but they're down men. Ooh, maybe I jinxed it because he's down to 23 and wavering right now. So are the Katana Samurai. Close battle. But it looks to me like Arbor's going to pull this one out. The Matchlocks are flanking as well. Wonder what they're going to be trying shooting. Guess they're going to try and shoot into the bow warrior monks, but I don't think that Logan has enough men to finish this attack out. Routing down there on the south side. Matchlocks are wavering as well. Oh, but a couple of Arbors have routed too. Matchlocks can get one shot off before they surely will rout. There's a war cry is active on that Matchlock Ashigaru. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with that Matchlock standing and fighting with war cry active. Oh, that's not war cry, it's a whistling arrow, excuse me. Still, with that many enemies around him and that whistling arrow, he's going to still be in the fight. Finally, Logan is bringing his general up into the battle, but it's going to be too little too late at this point. Kind of surprised a stand and fight sort of general would have been very good in this battle. When you're talking about a grinded out fight against a spear wall of Yari Ashigaru, having that stand and fight near his katanas could have maybe turned the tide of the battle, but he had him too far back. I think the superior general use of Arbor is what really pulled this battle through for him. Going to take a last ditch effort to hit the generals down to 7 men. Still in yellow red morale though. The general could be routing any time now. It's never over until it's over. Believe me, there it goes. That general is routed. Could have happened earlier. If that happened about 3 minutes ago, ooh, that could have been the end of the game right there. But it looks like Logan's going to lose this battle. He just has his general left. Now, according to the rules, if all you have left is cavalry and the enemy only has infantry, you have to attack. If you do not attack and just indefinitely try and run your cavalry around and unnecessarily lengthen the match, then you would be disqualified. But it looks to me like he's just going up to the top of the hill to maybe get a downhill charge as a last-ditch sort of effort, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that, and we'll just see where he's going. Maybe he is trying to just run. Oh, there he goes. He's reforming. Maybe Arbor kind of reminded him of the fact that he has to stay on the attack, and if he runs his cavalry around, he would be disqualified. Unfortunately, we cannot see the chat log, so we have no real idea of what they actually have been saying. Now, normally it'd be good to sit on that hill and wait for the enemy to come to you and maybe get a downhill charge, but you're not allowed to do that in this rules. You can't sit on that hill forever. He's got to go in for a charge, and this is going to be it. The Arashigar are in spear wall, and unfortunately there's not much this cavalry charge can do at this point, but it's just a last-ditch effort to try and do something, maybe start a chain route, or just because you simply have no other options. Down to 18 men. The Yari spear wall keeps on moving. I like how they're just walking forward, no big deal. Cavalry charge? What's that? There it is. Nope. The war cry is active. Rally's about to wear off. He's inspired, and there it is, the end of the game. Good game. Looks like Arbor's going to take game 1 up 1-0 on his opponent's map choice, so now he will be able to choose the map and maybe impose his will on the next match. But we'll have to see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody.